Well, honey is a pantry staple in many homes and globally has a market size of $9 billion and growing. It is also prone to fraud, where the real deal is bulked up with cheap sugar syrups. Existing techniques have struggled to detect adulterated honey, but now this sticky problem may have some new solutions. Stuart Smith has more.
Producing honey is a tricky and time-consuming process for all involved. At Highgate Honey in London, they can guarantee what's sold is only what the bees have made themselves. But with imported honey, particularly from China, the world's largest producer, there's concern about how often sugar syrups and other additives are being mixed in to decrease the cost of producing each jar. These can then end up on supermarket shelves without consumers or even the shops being any the wiser.
There's packers in the UK who aren't necessarily beekeepers, very often they're not, so they're just importing honey. They'll put it into a jar for a brand and put their brand label on it. So a lot of the supermarkets won't know what's in those jars.
What makes real honey hard to identify is also what makes it such a wondrous product. It's extremely diverse.
So these are all from my hives, all around North London. The different colours represent different types of flower that the bees have been foraging on. This is just a little example to show the range of honey. So you can't look at a honey and know whether it's genuine honey or not.
Nor can you tell by how runny or sticky it is. The only way to know for sure is to take it to the lab. This year, researchers at Cranfield University have made a scientific breakthrough, vastly improving the way honey can be tested. The first method reduces runny honey into a mass of plant DNA. With that, you can look for signs of plant sugars that shouldn't be there.
Corn syrup, especially like high fructose corn syrup and things like that, is very cheap, and we think it could be used to adulterate honey. It looks very similar. And then rice syrup may be used potentially in more Asian countries where rice is grown more commonly. So these are kind of the top two syrups.
A variant of that test goes even further, revealing the honey's full profile of plant DNA and in what proportions. This tells us when one genuine premium honey, perhaps from a renowned region, has been mixed with another cheaper honey. The final test could be the ultimate proof of the pudding. It relies on the fact that all honeys will be slightly different depending on what nectar the bees stored, in what season, and in which locale. A laser analyzes the honey, producing a unique chemical fingerprint for each type of honey.
If we do that for many different types of honey, we can create a characteristic database of what the pure honeys would look like and what the adulterated honeys would look like. And then by introducing machine learning algorithms, we can create predictive models that they can give us an answer regarding the purity of the sample, and also they can identify the specific type of syrup that was used for adulterating the honey.
China produces about a quarter of the world's honey, followed by Turkey, Iran and India. But Chinese exporters are also suspected of flooding the market with cheap blended products.
As well as adulterated honey causing problems for businesses and customs, there are also concerns about what it could be doing to people's health.
Research conducted largely on animals like rats, chickens and fish found they suffered increased blood sugar and more liver and kidney damage than those fed unadulterated honey over a long period. Pure honey also retains more of the natural antibacterial properties and a greater proportion of nutrients like proteins, antioxidants and minerals.
When you go into a supermarket and you look along a shelf of honey, the colour is pretty uniform, and the honey packers mix their honeys to create this uniform looking thing, and it tastes similar. But my argument is, why on earth would you want that when you could be buying from your local beekeeper who you know personally and you trust and get the real thing?
Stronger checks are being demanded across Europe to make sure imported honeys are what they say they are. With techniques like those developed here at Cranfield, detecting honey laundering could be about to become a lot easier. Stuart Smith, CNA, Bedfordshire.